headed up by Dennis Charlotte, the legend and president of the host club here this weekend. Hometown hero lights coming on. We're ready to go. Race 2 of the weekend, the 300 Super Sport, and we're underway in a much better start from Cameron Leslie that time. This is much better stuff from our KTM New Zealand race team. Cameron and Hamish, a 1-2 finish with the first KTM New Zealand 1-2 in 300 Supersport history. So this KTM New Zealand team putting all the right front feet forward this weekend, Neil.
Yeah, absolutely fabulous and great to see. And I see one of them, unfortunately, a little late to get off the line there at the moment. So it's our 300 class. So keen to watch out for this one. The growth of this class has been absolutely incredible over the last few years, and just loving every part of it. I really think it got a boost in the era when we saw Cormac Buchanan using it for all the right reasons. And we get an idea now, of course, of the sort of similarity of a Moto 3 bike, although there's quite a comparison, but there's also some similarity there if you get the idea. And of course, what we've seen in Supersport 300 around the world as well, part of World Superbike. So there is really a cool place on the program to think we have the quality of the bikes that are now available to race in this class as well. There are just so many positive things about where we are in the world of racing with 300s, and it's just growing and growing in New Zealand. The similarity of course, to what we have seen in the past from our bike brands and our bike size. So the 250s are effectively growing. That's why you'll see the 250s in their class of their own in the next race. But they have all these 300s, which involve generally the 325 Yamaha, the 390 KTM, and the 400 Kawasaki. And look at that for a run. Absolutely incredible as we go down through the dipper and up out the other side to look for it. So there's your race lead taking the streak. And then we go 2, 4, 6, a bit of a gap, 8, 9. There'll be 10, 12, 13 in there. And that literally our top group that I'm sure will be over the front line here, and probably the distance of only around 3 seconds. But I tell you what, absolutely stealing it. What a bolter, what a god. He is out of there and gone for at the moment. Hamish Simpson, Cameron Leslie to go for it. Dennis Charlotte back in the third place. And we look out for Logan Rowell, and there go to Billy Fuller in there on that Bill's Thrills MTF Finance supported Kawasaki, going as well there to Jethro Bowman, along with Tyler King in there. Go to Samuel Guthrie. Just had Super Dad Sam up here. Sorry, I should say Shannon, to have a bit of a call about that. Hayden Fordyce in there. He steps up out of the 150 into the 300 as well, going to Richard Ford in there. Kieran Nien, of course, another one of our other pilots. He steps up, in this case, on the TSS Motorcycles KTM to join that field as well. But it's that a new KTM New Zealand team that certainly got themselves up and on fire. And, man, they're making a break in on that one, Brad.
Oh, Hamish Simpson, he's come fired up, ready to rumble here after the lunch break. And he's turned it on. He's got 10 bike lengths on his teammate, Cameron Leslie, who's hanging on for dear life. Dennis Charlotte harassing the back wheel of that KTM New Zealand machine. So great little fight for our podium. They had a good dust up here yesterday, and these three were on the podium, but not in this order. Hamish Simpson, he is fired up, ready to take his first big scalp here in the South Island leg. So that is your front three. Bill Shrills, what a wonderful start from Billy Fuller. This is much better stuff from the NTF Finance Ninja 400 pilot. She has not had a dynamic South Island leg to this date, so this is a big turnaround and fabulous result on the cards here. Logan Rowell right there, and behind the third member of our KTM New Zealand race team, Tyler King, is on the back wheel of Jethro Bowman. So you've got the young youth and superstar performances all over this 300 paddock. You've got a couple of legends thrown in the mix as well. We absolutely love our 300 Supersport racing, brought to us by Wasteco this weekend. And just when we thought Hamish Simpson was getting away with it, his teammates coming at him, Neil.
Yeah, there we go, and certainly looking at Cameron Leslie. So Cameron on the pounce at the moment. Now Cameron Leslie disappointed. He was in fourth place in the start of the race here yesterday, and got his way all the way up to be number one. Had a bit of pressure put on him, but he managed to hold on, and only just. So I tell you what, it was all on for the bike battle. They're going for it, but it's Cameron Leslie playing on the second foot. But Hamish, man, the clean break that he made on him. It's almost as if the other two behind, when you get two of them together, as soon as you got two, you can seem to be able to pick up the race, and they seem to draw in. So when somebody just tries to get that break out there, for the reason the other two, whether it be the aerodynamics of it or just the pure push of what's going on, they can then draw in that first one. You don't seem to get that big break as made in some of the other classes by these smaller bikes. They're looking for all the air help they can get, and it's that slipstreaming that gives them the ultimate back in there. So here we go at the moment, Hamish Simpson, Cameron Leslie and Dennis Charlotte. They're your trio of superstars to go in this Wasteco supported 300 Supersport class in a fine and fired up form, and loving the fact that we've got Billy Billy Fuller in there as well, and where's Super Bro Zach yelling from the side, I'm sure, as he supports Super Sister out there. The tractor driver from Taupiri, as she goes to put up with the best of the class in a fantastic, vibrant, look at that behind her, which is she's in 4, so go 5 with Tyler, and then we go 6, 7 in quick succession up there as well to some of these young guns like this young man Jethro. Get used to the name Jethro. I haven't seen it since the Beverly Hillbillies on TV, but we've got a Jethro with us, and he's out there to race at the moment.
Out of the final corner, the turn 11 sweeper here at Ruapuna. It is absolutely beaming down the sun here today. Cameron Leslie is in charge of this one now, so he leads ahead of his teammate Hamish Simpson for a KTM New Zealand 1-2. Dennis Charlotte there in 3rd place. He's keeping touch with them though, so we're in for a big remaining 7 laps of this one here. This was the podium order they finished in the race 1 here yesterday. This will be exciting to see, as I don't think they're going to settle for this one. We've got arguments galore down the West Coast Straight, and we've got Hamish Simpson out, who's trying to get himself back into the lead of this one. This is electric racing out in front, and then Jethro Bowman just put a 1:33.6, so he's got the same lap times as the guys in front. He's now on a bit of a charge. He's clear in 4th place. Tyler King come along for the ride. There's Bill's Thrills. Good work from Billy Fuller, still hanging on to a top 6 result. And then after that, 7th place, Logan Rao. He's had a bit of a mishap here yesterday, so he'll be desperate to try and maximise his points outings here for the rest of the weekend. Samuel Guthrie, Hayden Fordyce and Richard Ford will take us out to round out our top 10. So just goes to show the depth and talent of 300 racing, Neil. It's absolutely fabulous.
Well, of course, when this class first started, we were looking at what the KTM was doing. It was a pretty impressive kind of a motorcycle. And we saw the Yamahas start to make their domination, and they became a brand. And this year we're starting to see the KTM fight their way back into it. And talking to KTM New Zealand D6 Motorsport man Jack here the other day, and just giving us an idea of just the sort of work that's been going on behind the scenes. You've still got the same size engine after all. You've still got it as production-based racing, so you're not getting to see a turbo switch on or anything of that nature. What you're getting to see is now how the whole bike can be made to perform better, and we're learning so much from what is happening around the world, because this is the #1 class in the world, bar none. So look out for Supersport 300 to explode globally. It certainly shot up with a massive interest here in New Zealand. It's overtaken the 250. When you add the 250 production and this class together, over half of the entire riders are in these 2 classes. It's affordable, it's fun, it's real racing, because these bikes have got their geometry, they've got the purpose, they've got the braking, they've got the suspension, they've got the whole chassis factor. So you are actually racing a real motorcycle, I tell you what, and they're still doing some awesome speeds, and an average around here at close to 120 kilometres an hour. That is fast.
All right, out of the pothole corner and down the back straight we go. It's still Cameron Leslie. He's got half a second, so he is maybe potentially in a pivotal part of the moto. 4 laps gone, 6 laps to go. Just trying to break clear of that front 3-pack. Got Hamish Simpson, Dennis Charlotte. They have been locked in a fierce battle. This has been raging on for a couple of seasons now, and absolutely brilliant to see the development of Hamish Simpson on that fabulous KTM race team. He's just going from strength to strength with this 300 Supersport competitive riding. Jethro Bowman, we talk about him, how he had blistered his way into 4th place. He's actually a little bit quicker than the ones ahead of him. He may be in line here to charge them at 3.6 seconds. We'll keep an eye on that gap, because Jethro Bowman, maybe with 6 laps to go, trying to throw a cat amongst the pigeons. He's getting better and better on this his beloved Ruapuna home track. From the top of the South Island, had a wonderful showing his first trip to the Cemetery Circuit. Back-to-back top 10 results in 300 racing, and a young man really turning heads here, running top 4 in Supersport 300. That is no fluke, Neil. It just goes to show the development of some of the youngsters here in the top of the South.
Well, believe it or not, in fact, he doesn't even have any sponsors listed in the program, so he's nonchalant. He's not any big name or anything other than that, other than the fact, I'll tell you what, with a name like Jethro, he's standing out in the crowd for me, because that's sort of bringing an old name back to the fore at the moment. So go Jethro Bowman back there in that 4th place at the moment. And then we watch what happens to those riders, and there's that great example of it. They've got a little bike on a track, but then they use all of that track. And when I say all of it, of course, they've come out of the sweep of the turn 11, the final approach here to this front straight, and then quickly those front riders have moved over. What they're trying to do is they're trying to break that slipstream. If you can break the slipstream by moving further in front and not getting the other opportunity for the other riders to hang in your slipstream and then slingshot and come out late on the straight, you need to do that. And that's why you see them well over onto the left-hand side of the track, because there's only way to get the advantage is to stay in that slipstream. So therefore, you've literally got to play follow the leader. But if you're that person in front that can quickly move across and break that air and not allow those others to get the slipstream, you've got a real opportunity to make a break at the end of the straight as compared to those that tail you. We've seen it in 300, we've seen it in 250. It happened a lot in the 150 racing as well. The Jixers were a great example of it years ago. If you led it when the white flag went out on the last lap, your chances of winning were close on zero, because everybody else on that last lap gained the advantage from tailing you, slipstreaming, slingshotting and getting past. And these bikes are pretty similar to that in a lot of ways. Here we go. Here's your trio coming down into Southern Salvage and taking the swoop to go round through here into the dipper. Look at the trio there at the moment and take the split second between them. That's all it is, because that's only probably about 0.1 and a bit from the ones. Oh, Dennis looks for the line down on the inside. Beautiful in the dipper. He goes down low through there. He's got a line like nobody else. You'll actually see that the others have sort of tried to go from point to point across there, whereas he's come out wider to keep a better speed in and go down, and so he's trying to make a steeper angle of it when he comes out of the dipper. So here we go, Brad.
Oh, this is starting to heat up. I thought Cameron Leslie was trying to run away with it, but absolutely not. It's bunched up again. Here we go. Less than 0.2 of a second separating our top three at the moment. Cameron Leslie, Hamish Simpson. Fastest on track was Dennis Charlotte on that lap around. So Dennis is getting excited about this one here. Jethro Bowman a little bit off the pace of the front crew, so he's starting to lose touch now. We thought he might have been coming alive with that podium battle, but no, it is still genuine three-way dust-up into pothole corner. Cameron Leslie, Hamish Simpson and Dennis Charlotte. No change at the moment. Dennis gets a good drive out of pothole. Is he going to be close enough to have a big dive into the Euromark hairpin? You bet he is. He's coming in there. Can he get the move done? Nearly touching as they go around the Euromark hairpin. What a move, Dennis Charlotte, but great drive out of there for Hamish Simpson, and he's going to argue straight back. Unbelievable racing here at 300 Supersport. This is exactly what the crowd's come to see here in our Waistco 300s, turning it on big time.
Oh, this is absolutely magic, and this is where Dennis is saying that the KTM's got an upper hand on his bike, but that's what we're talking about before, the fact that the Yamahas had it over the KTM's last year, so a different setup, a different tweak for them, a different model for some of them, making a change and just giving them that little split second advantage, millisecond advantage as they look to fight it back. And there comes Dennis. Look at that, hot and running there, coming in way. Oh, trying to get, look at that, one around the outside, one around the inside. Oh, how's that for an apex of a corner? Turned it into one big super bubble to come round through there. Dennis on the inside for the second. That is hot, that is fantastic. So did all that hard work and kept that momentum. You see the KTM trying to get back around him. Dennis had the line taken, absolutely close to perfection. Now all he's got to do is get on the tail of Cameron at the front and see whether he can make the advantage heading along the straight. Who's going to make the turn and go out? See that moving over. But I think it's going to be the advantage for Cameron out there. Cameron, Dennis, so a change. That's the first time we've seen him in that order. Great work done. Now he cannot let that KTM come back, so looking out for it. So Hamish Simpson ahead of Dennis, then going to Cameron is the order at the moment, so I just want to correct that. Then going to Jethro Guthrie in there along with Tyler King, looking out for Logan Rowell. Billy in there after a fourth place for some time, finally back to a seventh along with Shannon Guthrie to pick it up. We took out Richard Ford and then looking to Hayden Fordyce. There's a name to pick up again, of course, already doing it 150s and now 300 double. Remembering, of course, Cormac Buchanan did exactly that same double a few years ago and progressing out of 150s on to 300. So this is a hot bit of racing we've got on our hands here at the moment, folks, and can Dennis Charlotte come back?
Oh, this is edge of your seat stuff. Less than 3 laps to go. Hamish Simpson will lead Cameron Leslie. Dennis Charlotte relegated back to third place, so it just goes to show nothing is safe out there. Cameron Leslie made the big mistake in the Southern Salvage S's and went really wide, actually had to scramble to stay on the track. He relinquished second and third. He's back into second place, so he'll be desperate to try and capitalise on his weekend already. He had the race 1 win here yesterday on Saturday. He's now in line to get back on the podium. And what steps are he going to fall on? Any one of these 3 can win this race from here, as we're going to have a massive 2 laps to go when they cross the line. Jethro Bowman, he's a runaway 4th place at the moment. We've got excitement building. The 5th, 6th and 7th. You can throw a tea towel over that battle as Logan Rowell just dives up the inside of Tyler King. That is now 5th, 6th and 7th for Billy Fuller. Here then go back another little electric bike battle in there, rounding out our top 10. So there's battles all over the track. The one at the front's just starting to turn on here at the moment. Hamish Simpson, Cameron Leslie and Dennis Charlotte. There's still less than a second in the battle for the lead. So we're going to need the entire 2 laps remaining to find out how this podium's going to shape up.
All right, so it's a 3-1-3. That's where we've got that top 7 at the moment. Look at these two. Here they are. You see how wide. And there comes Billy. Billy looking to get back in there. Billy to follow the slipstream. And now she'll pull the air shot and try and get out. Will she come out wide and then try and cut back in, going on the right-hand side, peeling back through there and getting an idea of whether Billy has made the advantage. That is superb, Billy. So all of a sudden, Billy, she's gone back. Remembering 4, she was. So 4, 5, 6, 7. And now a chance to come back in there as well for a very good number 6. So certainly the 3-1 and the 3-1, we're talking about those first 3 with Hamish, Cameron and Dennis then going to 1 with Jethro all on his own. He's the lonely kid out there. And then that trio to fight it out back in that pack. That is great to watch as we're looking out for Billy. Will she come back? No, she's dropped back. You see back there. What is 3rd in that group, or 7th overall. And there's Tyler King. He's the one that could pounce there and make the move and try and get up past there. So looking out for that 3-bite battle as well. So that's what we're talking about with 3-1-3. That's the total of the first 7 in the racetrack as they exit the Christchurch Casino Carousel, coming around through Southern Salvage and heading around towards the Dipper. And there you go. There's your 1, 2, 3 on the racetrack again, folks. And looking to see whether Dennis can get through. Oh, man, how close does he get on those corners, Brad? That is exciting.
Oh, yeah, we're throwing absolutely everything at this battle. Does not want to head onto the 3rd step of the podium for the 2nd consecutive race. He's a former national champion in this class, along with many other classes in New Zealand road racing. Let's get excited. White flag is out. We have 1 lap to go, and it's catch me if you can. Hamish Simpson's pulled 15 bike lengths on them down the front straight. Cameron Leslie, Dennis Charlotte. There's less than 2 tenths in that battle going on into the first corner. This is going to be one for the ages. 300 Supersport, the gloves are off, and we have a thrilling last lap, not only for the podium. We've got 5th, 6th and 7th. They are almost inseparable. 3 wide as they cross the stripe and start the final lap. That's absolutely anyone's, and these points are going to be hard fought for here at Grand Prix weekend. And just to note, these guys have a 12-lap Grand Prix coming up as we see a change to the lead. Cameron Leslie has a big dive. Can he get the move done? Hamish says, no, I'm not going to let you have it. What a move. Hamish Simpson responding in the middle of the corner. He's not going to give up the lead that easily. You've got the 2 KTM New Zealand teammates, Hammer and Tongs, side by side through Fulton Hogan. No quarter given. You've got to be on the edge of your seat here. Half a lap to go in this thriller.
Oh, we've about another thriller there on Euromark. We get down to the Epping once again and keen to look out for the corner and see where she's got there, and has she got the advantage? You bet she's made it stick as well. How good is that? Billy all the way. Come on, you ladies, out to support her. There's this pint-sized little lady that hits well above her weight, that is for sure, and she's a tiny rider to be even on a bike like that, but the way she races is just incredible. Had all of her upbringing in the world of road racing in the fabulous Hire Sun Cup, this MTF finance-sponsored Hire Sun Cup, which is run out of the Auckland Motor Sale Club Arena. And that's where she got her graft, and once she got onto a bike the size of a 400, she's just been turning heads with all her racing and putting it together in brilliant style. But here we are, the run home, Brad, let's go with him.
Cameron Leslie up the inside, and the sweeper, I think he might have run a little bit wide. Hamish Simpson undercuts back up the inside. We're going to have a full-on drag race here. 3 of them out of the sweeper. Who is it going to be? KTM New Zealander on the wall, up and down. It's Hamish Simpson, Cameron Leslie side by side. Hamish hangs on. What a win. Cameron comes in to cap off a KTM New Zealand race team 1-2, and Dennis Charlotte, who threw absolutely everything at it. He did his fastest lap of the race on that final one there. Has to come home in 3rd place. So an electric podium. Slightly different result for yesterday, but it's still a KTM 1-2. And Dennis Charlotte there in 3rd place. Man, we're going to have an exciting and thrilling Grand Prix later on. 4th place for Jethro Bowman. A great ride from Jethro. Billy's going to hang on to 5th place ahead of Tyler King and Logan Rowell. So that one went on all 10 laps long. We can't wait for this 12-lap Grand Prix. Samuel Guthrie coming home in 8th place ahead of Richard Ford and Hayden Fordyce. Garth Wilson's going to be there for 11th. And then look out for Diego Petrucci, who will round out our top 12. Man, that is edge of your seat stuff. Brilliant stuff from our Waste Coast supported 300 Supersport, and there'll be more absolute joy and elation from that KTM New Zealand race team as they have capped off back-to-back 1-2 finishes. There'll be joy and absolute scenes. We're going to cross down to Neil very shortly. He's going to wrap up that 300 Supersport podium and catch up with all the trials and tribulations. Man, oh man, 10 laps of pure excitement. And coming up next, we've got our 8-lap race for 250 production. So let's cross down to Neil, who'll wrap up our 300 Supersport podium.
Well, we take an opportunity now to do our podium here at trackside as the KTM New Zealand team line up 1 and 2 at the moment. Emma and Hunter are here to give their lending support. We'll get a drink into Dennis, mate. You just throw everything at that, Dennis. Holy Toledo.
Well, I try, but, you know, can't beat horsepower, can you?
Yeah, it's certainly a whole tough game out there, that's for sure. But when it comes to the racing, the 300 concept is just so many riders and close battles all day. It's great for racecraft.
Yeah, it is, Neil. Yeah, that's good. You know, I don't know what more to say. You know, these guys made so many mistakes out there, ran off the track and all that sort of stuff. But yeah, they can still just blow past me. So we'll have to do something about that.
It'll be a close one, that's for sure. So there we go. Dennis stakes the claim on that for sure as we're looking out. And here we are in the build-up. So well done, and the team come over to respond. So this time a change here between the two. So well done, Cameron, yours, and then it wasn't. What happened, mate?
Little bit more slippery out there compared to yesterday. Just got a bit too aggressive with sliding the bike around, and I found where the limit was.
No, luckily you didn't. Luckily you're still on the bike, so the limit, that wasn't it so bad. But the racing that's going on between you and Hamish is just incredible. How can you be teammates?
It started off with me crashing into him a few times at club rounds, and the relationship blossomed from there. But they're a great bunch of people to race against. Both Hamish and Dennis are immensely talented riders, and it's just wonderful to share the track with them in a 100% scenario.
Well done, great sportsmanship, Cameron Leslie. Well done, super proud of that man. Great to see. So here we are. It's they call him the H-bomb. It is H-bomb 46, and right out here with the 46 MTF KTM New Zealand. Hamish, did you see how much was in it on the line?
I did have a quick peek over just afterwards, and I saw that I got it, and I was like, that's beautiful. You couldn't ask for it much closer. And I tell you what, there's nobody that I would rather share the podium with than this fella right here, and Dennis Charlotte. He's an amazing racer.
Great to see. All right, hey, work going on behind the scenes. You guys have made these bikes really perform well now.
Yeah, no, they've come a long way since where we started, dialing in all the geometry and whatnot. It's all really new to me, being my first season with the team, but I'm learning a lot and I'm having a great time.
Great to see. All right, hey, the big one, the GP lined up here for later on. Can you repeat it again?
Maybe. We'll find out.
Maybe we'll find out. There we go. I asked the question, here's your answer. Well done. So great to see, guys. So there you have a fantastic podium and a lot of support out there for these guys. So KTM New Zealand and the D6 Motorsport team lining up with all their quality support and sponsors on board. We can see Kim's up here. We see Pirelli on board. We'll go over them, the MTF finance package. So well done. A professional team getting professional results, and it's happening on our racetrack here. So awesome to see as we get ready. Remembering, of course, 250 production. That's the forerunner, of course, for this class coming up next on our program.